right, so here on hands and knees, we're going to do a little bit of hip strengthener. So bring your right leg back, curl those toes under. Let's just start with a little stretch here since we just did those calf raises. So lengthen the right calf. That should feel like a nice stretch after the calf raises. Now from the glute area, lift the right leg straight and try to keep your shoulders level and your hips. Nice. Bring that right leg right back into place, nice and slow. Left leg back, curl the toes under. Let's start with the left calf stretch. And then activate the hip, slowly lift the left leg up to about hip level. So the left hip shouldn't be lifted at all. It should be level with the right hip, and then bring it back in. We're going to do one more on each side. So this is all about control. You should be aware of where those muscles are as you lift up from the hip. So honestly, this is a really strong position for me to hold. It's not easy. If you're doing it right, it should feel like some work. And then let it go. If it feels easy, maybe you're just throwing that leg up in the air and not working against resistance. So imagine you have an ankle weight. Don't put an ankle weight, but imagine you have an ankle weight. So you're really pushing your leg and holding it there. Fantastic. Go ahead and bring it in and take puppy pose. Stretch out the hips a little bit. You can come into child's if that feels good, and lengthen the shoulders. And what I'd like for you to do is, this is a little bit of a prep for a push-up. We're going to come from the knees. And what we're going to do, it's called chin and chest. So you lower the chin and the chest and come down. See how that felt. And then come into a little Sphinx pose. Stretch out those abdominals. So chin and chest. It's kind of a nice way to control your body down onto the mat. Sphinx, lengthening abdominals, lengthening the hips, the front of the hip. Interlace your hands, and we'll do a little plank, either from toes or from knees. If you're doing them from the knees, I find it easier to do it with my knees close together. When I'm doing it from my toes, I like my feet a little further apart. All right, so pick your position. We're going to do 3 of these. Shoulders are soft, so we don't want them forced all the way up. Shoulders soft. Curl the toes or cross the ankles if you're coming from the knees. Exhale and lift. Once you're here, I want you to breathe. Keep breathing. And then wherever you are, start to lower down. Really, the fun of plank is letting go, right? Letting it come on down. I'm going to cross my fingers the opposite way just for a little distraction as we come into plank number 2. Cross the legs, come from the knees or curl the toes, feet a little wider, exhale and lift. If you start to lose form, then you lower down. If it feels pretty good, take a breath. And then everybody lowers down. We'll do one more. I'm going to cross my fingers back to the original position. Again, just to change it up. Your toes. Form is more important than saying you did it from your toes. Inhale, exhale, lift. Push the elbows down. Push the pinky side of your wrist down. Lengthen the back of your neck. And release. We're going to roll onto our backs. So this is the part where I wanted you to be able to easily reach your weights. So have your weights handy. see if I can try not to crush my microphone. Move it to the side. All right, so if you've got dumbbells that can come to your hip points, feet are lined up for bridge pose, hips, knees, and ankles lined up so the knees aren't too wide and they're not touching. And then we're going to do this. We're going to lift our hips and lower down. So unlike if you do yoga with me where we hold it, this is more of an actual strengthener where we're going to lift and slowly lower down. Lift and slowly lower down. So let's do 8 of those. Ready? Inhale, exhale, lift. 8 and 7. Squeeze the glutes. 6. Wiggle the toes. 5. Push through your heels. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. You got it. Lift and lower. Now, as you're doing that, as you're sitting here now, can you feel one leg more than the other? And that may indicate that that leg was doing more work than the other. So what I want you to do for the second set of 8 is really pay attention to, am I just using the right? Could the left leg basically come off the floor because I'm using so much of my right? So see if you can equal that out. Let's do 10. Inhale, exhale, 10. 9, 8. If weights don't feel good, you can do this without weights. 7 more. 6 more. This shouldn't hurt. You should feel it in your glutes and your hamstring. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Lift and lower. You can let those weights fall off to the side. Hopefully you felt that in the glutes and the hamstrings. You can bring those legs in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Lengthen those muscles you just used.